So not long ago, we had some very sad news. I'm personally gutted by the news. To be honest, I knew this day was coming soon. I didn't think it would be this soon, though. Stan Lee has unfortunately passed away, and I think it is definitely necessary to honor him and to really recognize the impact that Stan Lee had on not only pop culture but the world as a whole. I mean, Stan Lee, he created all of these characters which the world loves and appreciates. General audiences go into movies now and watch his characters that he co-created with legendary artists like Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko, and they love these characters. And I think it's very important to recognize how influential Stan Lee was, not only to the comic community, but also to the rest of the world. He introduced so many people to these epic characters. He was charming, he was absolutely a delight. Whenever I saw him in interviews, on screen, in his cameos, he was always a delight, and I'm definitely going to miss his Marvel cameos. I mean, when I go watch these Marvel Cinematic Universe films, it's been a norm now to see Stan Lee have a cameo in the film, and I'm definitely going to miss that because I know when Stan Lee comes on screen and I'm in the theatre watching Stan Lee's cameo in the MCU movie and I'm not expecting it, I have a bit of a chuckle, a smile comes on my face, and I'm definitely excited whenever I see him on screen because I'm like, yes, this is the man who helped create this whole universe. And he's always saying some quippy or funny dialogue in the film whenever he makes his cameos, and I'm definitely going to miss that. From a comics perspective, I read Marvel's 1960s comics. I absolutely love Stan Lee's stories. My favorite character from Marvel, Spider-Man, I love his Spider-Man run with Steve Ditko. There are some really awesome stories in there, and I know that he had a profound effect on the comic community. The way he wrote characters, he was one of the people who started giving superheroes problems. He gave Peter Parker a problem. He made his superheroes more grounded, which was something that DC didn't know how to do properly, I would say, before Stan Lee came into the picture. DC's heroes, they were always heroic, but they didn't really have many problems. You had Lois Lane and Superman. You know, Batman lost his parents, but aside from that, there were not many problems in which the superheroes had to face, and Stan Lee gave his heroes consequences and problems which they had to deal with. And that's definitely something which is translated to movies and comic books now as we know them today. I'm forever grateful for what Stan Lee has done for the comic community and the world. He's definitely changed the whole scene. He's been the spokesperson of Marvel. He's always been a delight whenever I've seen him, and I really hope that he found peace, and he will be remembered forever due to his legacy of characters. And I really hope that Stan Lee has a restful and peaceful eternity, and he just has had such an impact, and I hope that he's remembered because he truly is a legend and he's not someone who should be forgotten. Stan Lee also helped create the Marvel Universe. He helped all these crossovers happen back in the Silver Age. Stan Lee, he was the one who was making these crossovers between characters happen, like the X-Men and the Avengers, Spider-Man and Hulk, for example. There's plenty of more examples, but he was the writer who was writing the Marvel Universe and connecting it together. I mean, this was something which was... I mean, DC had done it a little bit with Batman and Superman, but aside from that, it was really Stan Lee who created this whole interconnected multiverse of characters who would come and cross over with other characters in this same universe, and it was really something special. And we have Stan Lee really to thank for that, because he's the guy who was writing these characters. He's the guy who gave us that universe of crossovers, and he is the guy who, thanks to his writing, we now have the MCU with crossovers throughout. And I think it's really important to acknowledge that this guy is the reason that these crossovers happen. He's the guy who wrote wrote these characters and helped co-create these characters, and his legacy of characters will forever live on in the hearts of the general audience and comic book readers forever. I'm very glad that Stan Lee did get to live 95 years of age. He was almost 96, and that is a long, happy life, and I mean, that's a very good life for a human. I honestly thought that he was going to make it a bit longer, but Stan Lee and his family, I wish them all the best, and it's extremely sad that we lost a legend. Rest in peace, Stan Lee.